Welcome back to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content surrounding childhood sexual abuse. Welcome to the channel. If you've not come in here before, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like the content. I went through the experience of childhood sexual abuse from the age of 9 to 13 years old at the hands of my father, but I am happy to say today that I am well recovered from those experiences, and it is because of that I'm able to share on this channel things about my own experience, things I found difficult, things I found hard, things that helped me to cope, things that people find difficult to talk about when it comes to childhood sexual abuse. And I also share news stories as well. So this is what this channel is about, me sharing openly and talking openly about this taboo subject, in hopes that if you've gone through it, you will feel encouraged and hopefully feel that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So today I want to share with you some books that have helped me on my journey to healing from childhood sexual abuse. I know we're living in a really awful time at the moment with this pandemic, and I'm trying to think of content to share with you that is both informative but also empowering as well. So the first book I want to share with you is this book, TOUCHPOINTS for Hurting People. I bought this book back 20 years ago actually, and it helped me quite early on in my journey as a new Christian. As I've mentioned on this channel before, I am a born again Christian. I am a believer and follower of Jesus Christ. He has helped me so much on my own journey to healing and recovery, and I wouldn't be the person today without him. And when I was a new Christian, I bought this book because I found it really hard to take in the Bible. So because it's touch points for hurting people, it covers areas where people are hurting. So it could be areas of things like abandonment, regret, feeling ashamed. And for instance, in the area of feeling ashamed, it talks about what can cause people to feel ashamed, and then it just gives you just a little bite-sized bit of the Bible, a bit of scripture that matches up with that and what God says about that. And I found this book to be really encouraging at the time. I struggled with focus, I struggled with identity, I was still in a lot of pain for my experiences of going through childhood sexual abuse, and this book actually really helped me. So it is a book worth checking out. If I do find it, I mean this book is quite old, I will leave a link to it in this description box below in case you might want to check it out for yourself. Second book is called Beauty for Ashes by JOYCE MEYER. It's based upon Isaiah 61. In my blogs, and I think on another video, I did talk about how JOYCE MEYER was the first person I ever came across back in 1996, 1998, who was talking about their experience of childhood sexual abuse openly. And because somebody had given me her book and I saw that she talked about her experience, how it affected her to a degree openly, it was like for me finding treasure in a dark place. JOYCE MEYER is a huge evangelist who is known in the Christian world for her conferences and her ability to empower people. So I have to say here, theologically, whilst I don't agree with many of her interpretations to do with the Bible and to do with Jesus Christ, I did find, however, her openness to talk about the spiritual damage that sexual abuse causes to be quite empowering, and it helped me to understand spiritually why I was struggling with a lot of strongholds in my life. I bought this book probably about 10-15 years ago. So I had 2 copies of this book. The other one was a bit more of an extended edition, but I gave that copy away to someone that had gone through sexual abuse, and I kept this copy because this was the first one I bought. But I found this book to be so helpful in helping me understand spiritually how sexual abuse causes damage, because I knew a bit about at the time how it was affecting me mentally, how it affected me physically. I understood a little bit at the time about how it affected me then. Obviously now I know a lot more, but I didn't understand how spiritually sexual abuse could be quite so damaging. So this book really did help me on my journey. I will leave a link to this book in the description box below. If you want something a little bit encouraging and empowering to help you to realise that sexual abuse doesn't have to define your life or define your dreams, this book by Carrie Johnson, it's called From the Pit to the Palace, is a definite must read. Now, I did a video to this book, a review of this book. If I find the link, I will leave it at the top of this video. But this lady here showed so much resilience in overcoming her childhood trauma of sexual abuse. She doesn't really go into it a lot in her book. But what was inspiring about her story was that she had a dream of being something, of being successful in her life. And she started as a cleaner and she worked her way up. She cleaned offices. She was a single parent. She used to take her children around with her to clean all these different places. She worked long hours. And she had a dream of owning a really beautiful mansion, a beautiful house, and she achieved it many years later. And her company went on actually to be very successful, and she became a millionaire. And I just found her story to be so inspiring and so encouraging, that in spite of all her challenges, all the difficult things that she went through, she still held on to her dreams. She still pushed through and did the things that she wanted to do. So this book, as I said, it doesn't really talk about her abuse in great detail, but it just talks about her rise out of adversity, which is very powerful. So I just want to share with you, lastly, another book that didn't help me on my journey, but that I wrote to help others on their journey. And that is my book, Daughter Arise. Of course, I'm not going to complete a list of books to encourage and help you with that, including my own. But I wanted to share this book with you because many people have claimed my story has helped to empower them. It is about my journey from devastation to restoration. My story covers a particular time period of my life up until about 2008, and it is in this time I go through so many different things that really should have caused me to go under, but actually helped me to be the woman I am today. And I'm very open and honest in sharing my story. I don't go into lots of intimate detail, but I go into enough that people can imagine for themselves, because I don't want people to feel totally triggered by this book. And even though the subject of sexual abuse is quite triggering, I managed to find the balance of being sensitive and informative. The book covers from my early childhood and takes you on a journey through different areas and periods of my life. So I would encourage you to buy this book and read this book. It's available on Amazon as well. And I will leave links to all the books down below so that you can check them out. Those of them that I can find, because I'm not sure which books are still in print, but if I find them, I will put them in the description box below. So this is just my little video of books that encouraged me on my journey and books that may encourage you on your journey. Check them out if you can, and I shall see you on the next video. Take care.